Hi guys, did you ever hear about the low and slow method to cook a huge piece of pork on a kettle grill? It's called the snake method, and I never really believed in this method. Today we're gonna check if it really works by cooking this huge piece of pork shoulder on a kettle grill. Let's get into it. But first let's make a wrap for our pork shoulder. Obviously I'm using salt and sugar, ratio more or less 2:1, but also some aromatics. This is called mace. I had no idea it even exists in Poland, but this is absolutely amazing for pork. Also, I'm using star anise and also allspice and pepper. First, let's magically blend it. What an amazing smell. Now let's put all together. Let's mix this thing, and now we're ready to wrap the pork shoulder. But first, let's use a mustard as a glue. We want the wrap to be well stuck to this meat, just a little bit to make it moist, and then we use the wrap. Today I'm using the whole pork shoulder just to check if this small grill is able to make a pulled pork out of this huge piece of meat. Let's start the fire. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm using this method for the first time. Why? Because I didn't really believe in a snake method. I just cannot believe that such a small amount of heat can actually make this grill work in a low and slow temperature like 100 and 120 degrees Celsius. So I'm actually testing this method if it really works. So the snake method works like this. We build a snake out of briquettes that goes around the kettle grill, and then we start it up only from one side. It should take a few hours to burn this snake. The temperature in the grill should remain around 100-120 degrees. So the snake is ready, and now the most important element of this method, a smoke. Today I'm using apple wood chunks, and I'm just putting it on a snake with a distance of few centimeters between the chunks, like that. And now we're waiting a few minutes until the snake will start to burn. Make sure you leave a small space between the beginning and the end of the snake. And also one more thing, a tray or container. We just put it in the middle. You can make sure it won't collapse. And we put water inside the container to make sure that the pork shoulder will remain moist. But I also want to collect all the good stuff from the pork shoulder. Okay, so the briquettes are already burning. The first wood chunk is smoking. We must put the pork shoulder as soon as possible on a grill. And there are two more elements that we have to control during smoking this pork shoulder. First is temperature of a meat. So the first probe I'm putting inside the pork shoulder. Make sure you don't put it in a bone. And the second probe I'm putting on a grill because I want to know what temperature does it have in a spot which is far away from the heat. And now the lid. Make sure you rotate the lid within the whole time of smoking. Why? Because here are the vents. We have to make sure that the vents are far away from the heat in order to suck the smoke in this direction to make sure that the smoke goes close to the meat. If I put it like this, all the smoke will just run away and no smoke will get to the meat. So like this, guys, and this thermometer obviously will show us the temperature close to the fire, which won't be really relevant. The upper vents I'm leaving half open, and the lower vents in a low and slow position where you see the smoke. And now I think we have a few hours to rest. After more or less 2 hours, the temperature on the grill is already stable, so let's check the numbers. Between 130 to 115 is far away from the heat. This is really amazing. And 140, 150 is over the burning charcoal. So the average temperature on the whole grill is more or less 130 Celsius, which is really amazing, a little above the low and slow temperature. I am shocked because this method is really working. Constant temperature all the time around the grill. 170 right now in a colder place and 160 in a hotter place. So in the middle it should be somewhere around 130 all the time. Perfect method, I love it. Take a look at this. This piece of pork is looking already amazing. Plenty of caramelization and smoke on the outside, and internal temperature is 75 degrees. This is actually the last moment we can take it out and wrap it in paper or foil. Why do we do it? In order to avoid drying out of the meat. There's always this moment between 70 to 75 degrees of Celsius when the temperature just stops growing. It won't go up anymore. This is the moment when you have to wrap the meat in something, in aluminum foil or in butcher's paper. Whatever you have on hand, just wrap it and put it back on a smoker or a grill. Make sure you wrap it really carefully. We don't want the meat to dry out. And we're putting it back on a grill. I did one stupid thing. I have no idea why I put the wood chunks over here, because we don't need any more smoke. It's covered. Now it's wrapped. We are waiting for 90 degrees inside at least. You guys probably think we have nothing else to do, but we sit around with our beers and wait for this pork shoulder to be done. No, we made plenty of stuff within these days. We recorded like 5 videos and now it's 10 hours later, 88 degrees. I told I'm gonna wait until it's 90, but I'm sorry, we don't have much time. I'm sure I'm gonna pull this pork anyway. So let's do it, guys. This is how it looks right now. And now it needs to rest at least 30-40 minutes, but within this time we're going to prepare a side, coleslaw. I'm cutting carrots in a julienne. Now I chop the onion. And now we have to put a little bit of soil into our coleslaw and a little bit of rice vinegar. It will stay like this for a few minutes and make the vegetables more pickled, more flavorful. So now I'm chopping the shiso and a couple of zucchinis, yellow and green. I'm gonna slice it really thin and grill it for extra flavor. I put some oil on zucchini and we're off to our grill. All the burners are set to minimum. We don't need very high temperature, we just need a little bit of caramelization and the vegetable that is half raw. A couple of minutes from both sides and we're good to go. Let's flip it to the other side. Grilled zucchini, pickled. They serve it as an antipasti in Italy. Really awesome starter. It looks really amazing and also has a lot of additional flavor. That doesn't need to rest. We can chop it immediately. All the zucchini goes into a bowl, and now let's add a little bit of mayo, about 2 tablespoons, and a little bit of Greek style yogurt, bit of salt, and now let's mix the whole thing. Alright my friends, I think my slaw is ready. Let's taste it. Really nice. And now I think it's time to pull this pig. Unpacking the whole thing. And now my friends, let's pull this pig. You gotta pull that pig, baby. Mama. Okay, I guess I'm satisfied with the consistency of my pulled pork. Take a look at these fibers. This is amazing. But we have to do one last thing. We gotta add sauce to this pork. And today I decided to use Tennessee Red of Bluescock, which is a little bit of vinegary, a little bit of spicy, but also quite sweet. It will work absolutely amazing with this pulled pork. Let's see. Oh man, this is amazing. Let's make a sandwich. So my awesome Asian coleslaw goes on the bottom. Now a little bit of pulled pork. Oh my god, this is so good. Before I try it, let me tell you one thing. Snake method, really awesome method. I'm shocked. I never believed in it. And the best thing is that the amount of briquettes that we set as a snake around this grill was precisely for 10 hours of smoking, not hour less or more. Really amazing method. You have to try this, guys. You can try my coleslaw, you can try my pulled pork recipe. Take care. See you next time. Now this is the sandwich.